Chosen one, something changed the instant you began reading these words. Not because you searched for this message, but because this message reached you. This Sunday did not appear in your life by coincidence. You were not led here by the usual flow of an ordinary morning. What is unfolding right now is the meeting point of something that has been growing within you far longer than you may understand. Some arrivals do not come with noise or celebration. They enter quietly through a message, a realization, or a deep inner certainty that whispers, "This is it." Before moving forward, there is something important you need to know. You have heard the phrase, chosen one, before. You felt its truth for a moment, only to watch that feeling fade away. You have stood at the edge of new beginnings, only to feel yourself pulled backward. You have restarted countless times, wondering whether the future you keep reaching for would ever truly remain. That uncertainty ends now. Not because this Sunday is like every other Sunday when you promised yourself things would change. This day is different because you are different. The person you were always meant to become has been moving toward this moment for a long time. What begins today is not another attempt, it is a transition. It is the point where what has been developing in silence begins to reveal itself openly. None of the struggle was meaningless. None of the waiting was a penalty. Every season of preparation was shaping you for this very moment. This is not about who you used to be. It is about who you are becoming. And this Sunday marks the beginning of that transformation. Before we continue, notice what is happening within you. When the right words reach the right place, they create a response beyond thought, a feeling of calm, certainty, or recognition. Some felt it when reading about arrival. Others felt it when hearing about crossing a threshold. Pay attention to that response. It is not simply emotion, it is awareness. A part of you already senses that this moment matters. A part of you has been waiting for this message. There are 5 signs that this message was meant for you, and each deserves careful attention. The first sign is that you have carried an inner conviction longer than anyone realizes. Deep beneath the surface, you have always believed there was more to your story than what has been visible so far. It is not ordinary ambition. It is the persistent sense that your purpose has not yet fully appeared. Even during difficult seasons, when circumstances gave you every reason to let go, you continued moving forward. That quiet endurance is the first sign. The second sign is that you have experienced moments of hope before, only to watch them slip away. You have known mornings filled with inspiration, prayers filled with certainty, and declarations that felt powerful in the moment. Yet somehow, old patterns returned. Still, you did not stop. You kept trying. What others may have called stubbornness was actually resilience. It revealed a part of you that refuses to abandon its calling. That determination is the second sign. The third sign is that this moment feels different. Not every message reaches the same depth within you. Some pass by unnoticed, while others remain. This one stayed. You sensed it from the opening words. There is something distinct about this Sunday, something difficult to explain but impossible to ignore. People destined for change do not always understand why certain moments matter. They simply recognize them. That awareness is the third sign. The fourth sign is that your journey has been longer than expected. The season of waiting, growth, and preparation may have stretched far beyond what felt reasonable. Yet despite the delays, you are still here, still listening, still believing there is more ahead. That perseverance is evidence that your story is still unfolding. You have carried this for a very long time. There have been years of growth that were meant to produce visible results, but did not. At least not in ways others could recognize. There has been dedication, preparation, perseverance, and faith, yet the rewards have not appeared in proportion to the effort. Still, you remain. Not because you had nowhere else to go, but because something within you understands that every season has a purpose, even when that purpose cannot yet be seen. That persistence, that refusal to let the length of the struggle determine the value of what lies ahead, is the fourth sign. The fifth sign is that you are ready to stop talking about who you are becoming and start living as that person. Not someday, not when circumstances improve. Today, with what you have and exactly where you are, the chosen one who found this message is no longer waiting for permission to become who they were meant to be. That readiness, that quiet certainty that the time is now rather than later, is the fifth sign. If these five signs describe you, then what follows is intended for you, not in a general sense, but specifically. Every word. Chosen one, I want to take you back for a moment, not simply to a younger version of yourself, but to a fuller version. There was a time before the world began telling you who you were allowed to become. A time when your mind functioned closer to the way it was naturally designed, before pressure shaped you, before disappointments accumulated, before life gradually narrowed your possibilities without you even noticing. Think about the child you once were, not the circumstances or hardships, but your inner experience. Think about how quickly ideas arrived, how every new discovery felt like an opportunity rather than a burden, how creativity flowed effortlessly, without self-censorship, without needing approval or justification. There was a sharpness then, a sense of wholeness in how you experienced life. You could hold multiple ideas at once, and instead of competing, they connected. You sensed things before you had words for them. You created without first questioning whether you were qualified. Research from leading institutions studying human cognition uncovered something remarkable. When children under the age of 10 were tested for creative genius, a specific form of integrated cognitive functioning, 98% scored at a genius level. Not just the highest achievers or gifted students, nearly all of them. What surprised researchers was what happened when they tested those same individuals years later. By adulthood, that percentage had dropped dramatically. Fewer than 1 in 1,000 adults continued to function at the same level of